column 29. And I'll have to reorder these in the playlist. Behold a form of inquiry of the sun, of which they say it is well tested, its spirit gathering. You take a young boy who is pure, you make the spirit formula, which is written for it. You take him before the sun, you make him stand on a new brick at the moment which the sun shall rise, and it comes up entirely with the entire disk. You put a new mat of linen behind him. You make him shut his eyes. You stand upright over him. You recite down into his head. You strike down on his head with your raw finger of your right hand, after filling his eye with the paint which you made before. Nasira, Wapkis, Shafa Shafa, Bebe'u, Bebe'u is thy true name, is thy true name. Lotus, open to me heaven, in its breadth and height, bring to me the light, which is pure. Let the entity come to me, who has the command, and let him say to me, answer to everything which I am asking here today in truth without falsehood therein. Ark Nutsa et Taletal Nasira Yarmek Nasera Amptho Ko Amamarkar Tel Ya'ea Nasira Hakia Latas Kazisi Aho Atanha E E A O Balbel. Let the pure light come to me. Let the boy be enchanted. Let the answer be given me. Let the entity who is commanded come to me and tell me answer to everything about which I shall ask in truth without falsehood therein. Thereafter you recite his compulsion another 7 times, his eyes being shut, the formula CCP, Theory P, S, A, E, O, Akab, Rab out, Fact up, Anasan, Kra'ana, Kratris, Imap, Tarapna, Arafnu. Come to the boy. Let the entity who has the command come to him. Let him tell me answer to everything which I shall ask here today. If the light is slow to come within you, say ka ka, sal sa atha, epel, sirba. 7 times you put frankincense on the brazier. You utter this great name. After all those you utter it from the beginning to the end, vice versa 4 times. Awabathia batha baitha yua. You say, let the boy see the light. Let the entity who has the command come in. Let him tell me answer to everything about which I shall ask here today, in truth, without falsehood therein. Behold another form of it again. You take the boy to an upper lofty place. You make him stand in the place where there is a large window before him, its opening looking to the east, where the sun shines, and rising into it, you paint the boy's eye with the paint which is prescribed for it. You recite to him times are 7 times. You stand over him. You make him gaze before the sun when it fills the uzat, standing upright on a new brick, there being a new linen robe behind him, and his eyes being closed, you recite down into his head. You strike on his head with your finger described above. You offer frankincense before him. When you have finished, you make him open his eyes. Then he sees the entities behind him speaking with him. The ointment which you put in the boy's eyes, which he goes to any vessel inquiry of the sun. You take 2 of the river, both alive. You burn one of them with vine wood before the sun. You put the blood of the other to it. You pound it with the myrrh. You make them into a pill, they measuring 1 finger in length. You put it into his eyes. You take a coal pot and a coal stick of lel. You pound this drug with a little set stone of Ethiopia, and with Egyptian vine water, you fill your eyes with it. You fill your eyes with this drug. You look toward the sun. When it fills the uzat, your eyes being opened towards it, and he appears to you. He gives you answer to everything. Its chief point is purity. It is profitable to the boy, and it is profitable to you yourself as a person acting alone. Now, some drugs, like what, mandrake and orris and henbane, and some of them are like, some drugs are different when it's like applied to like the eye or the other. It's like not intoxicating. And yeah. Now, the forms of rituals, if you're going to do whatever your belief, whatever your ritual, do what's, closer to what you're doing. I mean, I'm not encouraging certain ethical things that may take place with some of that, but or unethical things, or however you might phrase it. And the ring finger, the Ra finger is the ring finger. So Ties Kienshan Nepra Au Zen Am Maf Zaef Zent Ma Shus Sipsen Peth Swah Yak Ker Nik Wa Kum Ko F Wab Natik Ra Yak Nat Suck Arf Natik Nietap Nep Matat Bra Natik Ta Ahaf Artif Her Wat Tabit Namia Nep One Nat Ere Pra Ne Ka Namath Natik Ya Hare Tref Trep Ten Natik Tu Wat Kabit Na Ayu Namia Pep Pa Natik Terf Kunt Katum Yertif Natik Ah Aratik Her Tef Erik Ash A Kre Khan Zizef Erik Kalhe A Kre Khan Zizef Pek Taba Napra Natik Tet Wanam Bunts Mah Yertif Nep Sumt Ark Nahat Nasira A Apakyas Shafyu Sipson Yabyu Sipson Ranyakna Mat Sipson Serpet Aun Niet Pat Pies Na Pies Wask Pies Mat Aniet Niepa Win Nat Wab Nye Wa Niep Nature Nata Pa Wa Sahne Tetef Natet Zane Wa A Matat Neb Nata Uwe Shen Karu Tie Na Bahu Na Matat Mat Eman Matat Aze Khan Wa Arkan Watse Et Ale Tal Nasira Yarmek Nasir A Ampthu Ka Am Rukar Tel Ya A Nasir A Hakia Serpet Kaz Yes Yif a a a atan yayo balbel near wa near pa win f wab near fakre pa alu near zef near wa near pa nafshar nete pa wa sahne tetef natep za near wa a matet neb net shin kru na matet mat man matet na az kanu ban mrs Eric ash pef hutter na ke sep yurtef katum zamtet sie pie tes year yette sa ank ab ra ba aat paha kathe up an as an kra an a kra terius tem put ar ab bahne ar abahnu manap alu mie wa nafpa nature natep wa sahne tetef natef zadne wa matat nab nat shin karu pie pahu are pa win askte ya akan erk zakeke seles yapel sir yib sirba na sep erkta albaut ap ak erk zapie run mas nie treu erk ashif hataf pataf das pakrar na sep web off ya bath ba yes ob da o erk zamie ma pa alu pa win mie wuk nature nete pa wa sahne tataf nataf zane wa matat nabnat ay shan kru kie na bahu matat mat man matat aze panu kies ke namath an erk fie pa alu wa ma hare f the se erkta ahaf arataf wa ma one wa shishit pef mat erf one per gibbet kur re pra wabne akan na kataf natak samt yartaf nap alo nap samt nat sak arf natak ash arf na sap kez erk her taf natak ta ref kushap her thra f ma was it f retaf her what tapat name one what shantat ayu name na pef pa yurtaf katam erk ash kre kan zazef erk Gala Azizafna Tak Tabanat Sak Hare An Erikta Albaut Ahre Nachraf Erik Wah Erikta Raf one Yurtaf Kernuf on the true Tef Pa Elze Wabaf Rek Tief A Yurtaf Nup Alu F Na A Shun Hana Nubna Pra Harniak E Nup Yar El Ank Nup Nutak Wush Wa Namu Nak Na Ale Nup Mut Nup Ra Nutak Tup Son of Nup Ka A Herf Nutak Na Naf Aramith Her Ko Natak Ru Na Banat El Kia N Ba Wa Eric Sha Ta Yurtuf Eric Nia Wab Bun Lil Erme Wak N Her N Lal An Natak Kia Tia Pakre Her Wa Kam N Sat N Ta Nahas Har Mu Na Ale N Keme Natak Mah Yurtak Namath Eric Mah Yurtak N Tia Pakre Natak Taship Har Pra F Mah was it Yurtak one Harf Harf one hop Ark Nataf Za Nak Wah Matat Nab Tef Matat At Wab Raf Ra Shu Kumkul Nataf Ra Shu Nak Hak Rum Wat. And one of the things that can be said about this book is some of these have, I mean, this seems to have an effect beyond energy level, time of day, and like the formula or even subject. And it would surprise you the level of visualization or feeling or something that comes with going over these. Now, am I worshiping everything the book says? No, I'm going over it and I'm responding to it in my own way. You know, I'm not necessarily cursing any or blessing whoever it says to bless, but so vine twigs are thought to be for magical, are a common thing for magical purposes. Kapet relates to the copy in the Coptic. Tab'a Nipara is probably the the ring finger. Proc Od On Isas Pa'ida. And if you know your Mah was it is the summer solstice. And yeah, if you know the symbolic connections of your hands and all that, that can be very useful. And times of the seasons for different things. Although, just like the whole doing your best thing, you don't necessarily have to wait to do a meditation or ritual or whatever you call it. Sharma, peace be upon you.